Hey guys, this is Epic, out here on yet another day hike. As you can see, we're next to a major highway and there's lots of cars going by. This one is not too far from home if you live in the greater Seattle area. This is the Coal Creek Trail. Today's the 3rd, so at 5:30 p.m. a cougar was spotted. So this may not be far from town, but that doesn't mean you can't see wildlife, folks. So today we started at the Red Cedar Trailhead, and our trip is 6 miles round trip. A total elevation gain is going to be 550 feet. And the weather is great today. It's probably going to be, I think the weather report said it's going to be a high of 68, so we got plenty of canopy as well, so it's going to be great hiking weather. Ooh, wow, it's pretty dark underneath this canopy, but the trees are gorgeous. You got the ivy growing up on these tree trunks and all the moss. Actually, just this little section right here kind of reminds me of Olympic National Forest.
That was nice.
All right, we have two options here, guys. Wait, hold on. That's a Forest Drive trail, and then this is toward Redtown, which is what we need. There's a lot of small little trail systems that come off the main trail. We're 0.3 in, evidently, from Coal Creek Parkway. And we are headed to 0.1. This direction, toward Redtown. So if you live in the western part of Washington, possibly the greater Seattle area, or on the east side of Lake Washington, and it's hard for you to find time to get out and away into the wilderness, this hike is probably a good one for you. It's actually really easy as far as starting out is concerned. I get most of my information off the WTA website, and it's rated as an easy hike. It's actually pretty flat with only a little bit over 500 feet of elevation gain in 2.5 miles, 3 miles. And it's easy to get to. It's right off of Coal Creek Parkway near Newcastle. So if you're looking to get out and experience a little bit of nature and it's harder for you to get out to more remote trails, this may be the hike for you. So there's an awful lot of these little side paths that give you access to Coal Creek, which right now at this time of year, late summer, getting close to fall, is really just kind of at a trickle. Still beautiful. Jane of the Jungle. Just as a side note, folks, we are only climbing on the trees where the trails actually go to them. Unless you've got paths cut, be courteous and stay on trail so you're not disrupting the natural flora and fauna. Well, this makes me think of Kung Fu Panda, my old nemesis, stairs. All right, hiking with us today, we have some of the usual suspects. Of course, we have Carrie Ann. And then new to hiking with us today is Margarita.
Saldania.
And then, of course, Fancy Pants. All right, Redtown, 1.7 miles. Oh, now we've come to another trail junction. This is actually the direction to Redtown right here, ladies and gentlemen. And then there's the Primrose Trail, which is a 0.7 mile loop over here. This trail actually reconnects to the main Coal Creek Trail, this Primrose Trail loop, and we'll be headed to Redtown as well, but it just takes a different route. And switch back. Because this is a nature area that is inside city limits, you do have a couple places on the trail where it does come close to some apartment buildings. But overall, I don't think it takes away from the ambiance of the trail. And because it is early September, we are getting the last remnants of the blackberries for the season. These signs are actually pretty frequent. You'd be hard-pressed to get lost if you know what your end destination is on this trail. Red Town, 1.4 miles. The direction Margarita is not going.
That looks so nice and inviting.
It does.
It looks very inviting.
I take it all back, folks. You can get lost. .1 to Red Town. Red Town, 1 mile. And that, once again, folks, is the Primrose Trail Loop right here. That's where the trail reconnects with the main trail. So if you come down here and do this hike, you have options. Specifically taking the main trail for Coal Creek or taking the Primrose Trail Loop and reconnecting with the Coal Creek Trail. Red Town in .8. And the trail veers off. Red Town, .6, just a little over half mile. Oh, this is a neat section. And this is where the trail gets historical. This is actually the remnants, all that's left of an old turntable for the coal mining trail or train that used to come through here.
Oh, I want to finish reading that.
This is where they used to turn the train around.
Wow, this is the old town. I don't remember all that.
That's all that remains of the turntable. So apparently the Pacific Coast Coal Company ran an operation in this area from 1876 to 1929. And during that time, they mined almost 9 million tons of coal out of the ground, 8.8 million tons of coal before they closed their doors here. So this is the new Cinder mine trailhead. It goes up this direction. I think it's a very short trail that goes up to a parking lot, giving you a different point of access onto the Coal Creek Trail. The last time I hiked it, actually, I don't think it was even in yet. So this is brand new. We are headed in that direction onward toward Red Town. As I mentioned, folks, they pretty much want you to stay on trail and not actually disturb the vegetation, which is pretty much a general rule for any trail that you're hiking. And of course, there are signs like this that were made specifically for Carrie Ann.
Sorry guys, gotta go. Rick's open this thing.
Miners build a flume. So this should be remnants of the log flume, I think. Oh, look at that. That's pretty nifty. Not much water running right now. And there's a little side trail.
There's
the remnants of a log flume, actually. According to the information on this trail. right, Red Town's only a 1/10 of a mile away. And then this interpretive loop trail is just a small nature trail that reconnects back to the main trail in a short distance. And this is where the interpretive trail comes out the other side. Red Town is just up that hill, but this is pretty cool. This is an air shaft that used to supply oxygen to the mines down below, and it is actually right over here. This is pretty cool. Into the air shaft, which you barely can see probably on camera, goes down into that deep, dark hole. Used to supply oxygen to the mines. And we're just coming out here to the end. This is where we hit the Red Town Trailhead parking lot, just across the street. Coal Creek Natural Red Town Trailhead. So this was about 2.5 miles. The WTA has this trail pegged at 6 miles round trip. We got it clocked by Bellevue City Park. City of Bellevue has about 5 miles. If we started from the correct trailhead, and I think we did. We're gonna go head back towards the car, but this time we're gonna take the Primrose Trail alternate, see what we can see on that one. I've actually never been on the alternate. And we're coming back to the connection of the Primrose Trail loop, 0.7 mile alternate, heading back toward the car. Well, this is also a very pretty section of trail. Looks like it's mostly downhill, really easy. It's very well maintained. The entire section through here for this entire trail and all the little side trails that go off of it are really well maintained trails. So nobody will have any problems navigating them. So based on all this windy downhill that we're doing on this, if you're coming the other direction, there's definitely going to be a higher degree of difficulty doing the Primrose alternate. So depending on what kind of shape you're in when you come out, you may want to consider staying on the main route. If you're up for a little bit more of a challenge, not much, but a little bit, you might want to consider the alternate. So this alternate that we took is kind of cool. We found ourselves a nice little sitting spot over in the shade, right next to this creek area. This is my first time actually taking the Primrose alternate. So yeah, this would have been a good little snack and lunch spot. Okay, this bridge is far cooler than the other ones. Wow, it's a lot denser on this section of the trail. Welcome to Narnia. And we have made it back to the other end of the 0.7 mile loop of the Primrose Trail. And we are headed back this way toward Coal Creek. Well, we've come out to the gravel pathway and I hear the telltale signs of traffic, which means we've reached the end of our journey. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you like what we do, be sure to like and subscribe and hit the chime icon down at the bottom so you can get notified when we put out future videos. Happy trails, guys.